Yo, what up, Team Breezy? Your boy Chris Brown right here. Just want to tell y'all, thank y'all for all the love, man. We got the.
How is that fatherhood, bro? It's different when you're living for somebody else, huh?
Yeah, but it's fun. It's funny, like to see them grow, see different.
How is your daughter? She must be big, right?
She's amazing. Like I said, when she comes in the room, you hear me talk now, but if she comes,
you got a beautiful family, CB.
Like my world used to be a lot of rock and roll. It was a little milder.
What happens when one of the world's biggest R&B superstars hits pause, not for a scandal, not for a legal issue, not for a brand deal, but for something far more powerful? That's the question shaking the music world right now, because Chris Brown just made one of the most unexpected and deeply personal decisions of his career, canceling his January tour dates simply to stay home with his children, saying their peace comes before fame or fortune. Fans didn't react with disappointment, they reacted with applause, and in a world where celebrity actions are scrutinized more than ever, this moment is standing out as something rare, something honest. It's being praised across social media as one of his most genuine decisions yet, a move that cuts straight through the noise of fame and shows a side of Chris the world doesn't often get to see, the father, the protector, the man choosing presence over performance. But here's the twist that makes this story even more compelling. At the exact same time he's stepping back from the stage, Chris Brown is also stepping up in the industry. His single It Depends featuring Bryson Tiller has earned him not one, but two major Grammy nominations for 2026, Best R&B Performance and Best R&B Song. While he's choosing home over tours, the industry is recognizing arguably his best musical work in years. So today on Taspectrum West TV, we're diving into the full picture. Why Chris Brown made this bold family-first decision, why fans are celebrating it, why the music industry is rewarding him at the same time, and how this moment could redefine his legacy moving forward. If you're new here, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss any updates like this, because by the end of this video, you'll understand why this moment is more than a headline, it's a turning point. A rare intersection where personal choice, public perception, and professional recognition collide in a way that could reshape how Chris Brown is seen for years to come.
How is that fatherhood, bro? It's different when you're living for somebody else, huh?
Yeah, but it's fun. It's funny, like to see them grow, see different things that they learn and teach you. So I'm loving it. I'm having a blast.
What kind of dad is Chris Brown?
Man,
Cause you got three now, bro.
It's hard because I gotta still be Breezy, but then I gotta be Chris. Like, so I think majority of the time when I'm with my kids, they only see Chris. I'm not gonna be like the fun party, you know. But it's a challenge.
Broke that Chris Brown had officially canceled his January tour dates. The reaction was immediate and surprisingly unified. Fans, critics, media outlets, and even industry insiders paused and collectively asked the same question. What could make an artist of his caliber step away from a highly profitable, highly anticipated run of shows? The answer turned out to be far more personal than anyone expected. In a world where celebrities often hide behind unnamed scheduling conflicts or generic PR phrases, Chris Brown offered something rare: transparency. He didn't blame logistics, technical issues, contracts, or health reasons. He didn't postpone the shows for creative adjustments. Instead, he said something simple, sincere, and emotionally honest. His kids needed peace, and they came before everything else. In the entertainment industry, where image is currency and touring is one of the biggest financial lifelines for any artist, this was not a small decision. Canceling shows comes with refunds, renegotiations, penalties, and millions of dollars forfeited. It affects venue staff, promoters, ticketing companies, and marketing teams. Yet Chris's announcement was clear, direct, and unusually heartfelt. He chose his children's emotional well-being over fame and financial gain. This moment is especially powerful when you consider how carefully calculated the music industry tends to be. Every album rollout, every tour announcement, every press release is usually part of a controlled system designed to maintain hype and secure revenue. Chris's choice broke that pattern. It wasn't strategic, it wasn't promotional, it wasn't tied to an album cycle, a documentary, or a branding partnership. It was simply a father saying, "Right now, my kids matter more." Idiot. Social media flooded with comments from fans saying they respected him more than ever. Some said they felt seen, especially parents who juggle demanding careers with the pressure to show up for their children. Others pointed out how rare it is for male celebrities, especially those in hip-hop and R&B, to openly prioritize fatherhood over career obligations. The move didn't just spark a conversation about Chris Brown, it sparked a conversation about parenting, responsibility, and emotional choices in the public eye. But beyond the emotional significance, there's also a practical side to this decision. Chris Brown's January tour was expected to generate huge revenue. His shows typically sell out within minutes, with fans lining up hours before doors open. Merch sales, sponsorship deals, venue fees, everything was set. To willingly walk away from that takes a different kind of courage. It's the kind of move you don't make unless something truly important is happening behind closed doors. And that's the part that deepened public respect. Instead of acting like a global superstar detached from real life, Chris acted like a father confronted with a real-life situation. Fans could relate, they understood. And in the months leading up to the cancellation, he'd occasionally hinted in interviews and social posts that he needed more balance. The world simply didn't expect him to act on it so directly. What makes this decision even more intriguing is its timing. Many artists only cancel tours when their careers are unstable, but Chris Brown's career right now is experiencing one of its most powerful resurgences in years. He's hitting streaming milestones, breaking records, and dominating R&B playlists. This was supposed to be the moment he capitalized on momentum. Instead, he walked away from the spotlight to focus on his children. That's why this story stands out. It's not just news, it's a rare human moment where personal values outweighed professional advantage. And it's only the beginning of what this video will uncover, because as you'll soon see, this decision didn't slow down Chris Brown's success. In fact, the music industry is rewarding him in a way that might redefine his legacy forever.
What has Chris Brown found difficult about being a father?
The difficult part kind of was me overthinking the situation. Like, am I gonna be a good dad?
Especially learning how to take care of somebody else. You know, I barely know how to brush my teeth in the morning.
But with my daughter, this is family, an extension of me, my blood. So my responsibility to her is unconditional. So I think it's just the fear within myself of not knowing if I could.
What does it take for someone at the peak of their career to slow down and choose family over the fast-moving world of entertainment? In Chris Brown's case, the answer is rooted in something deeper than scheduling or professional burnout. His decision to cancel his January tour wasn't just a headline, it was a window into a man evolving, maturing, and understanding the impact his choices have on the people who depend on him the most. For years, Chris Brown has balanced a demanding career with fatherhood. Between music videos, studio sessions, world tours, award shows, collaborations, and promotional appearances, he's maintained a packed schedule that only a handful of artists ever truly understand. But underneath the shine and the spotlight, Chris is a father of three, each with different needs, personalities, and challenges. People often forget that celebrities aren't exempt from family responsibilities. Their kids still need stability, structure, and emotional support. They still need their parent present, not just physically, but mentally and emotionally. The phrase he used, "my kid's peace comes before fame or fortune," revealed a lot more than people noticed on the surface. It hinted at something happening behind the scenes that required his attention, perhaps a transition, perhaps emotional tension, perhaps the natural chaos that comes with raising children while managing the unpredictable lifestyle of a global superstar. Whatever the reason, the message was clear. His kids needed him, and he wasn't going to fail them. That honesty is what struck fans the most. In a world where many celebrities talk about family but continue prioritizing tours, red carpets, and album rollouts, Chris made a choice that had real consequences. He risked money, momentum, and public expectations, but he gained something more valuable: respect. Fans praised him for being self-aware, grounded, and real. Parents related to him on a deeper level. Even people who aren't fans of his music admitted that the decision showed character. And ironically, the decision made him more relatable than any song, performance, or award ever could. There's also another layer to this story. Chris Brown isn't the type of artist who hides behind a crafted public image. He's lived a complicated life in the public eye. He's made mistakes. He's faced criticism. He's rebuilt his career through consistency, hard work, and undeniable talent. Choosing fatherhood in this moment adds a new dimension to his narrative, a moment of reflection, responsibility, and emotional depth that shows growth without needing to prove it through words. Beyond the emotional significance, there's a cultural significance too. In the entertainment industry, especially in R&B and hip-hop, fatherhood isn't always highlighted. Artists often feel pressure to prioritize the grind, the hustle, and the idea of being always booked. Chris Brown choosing to center his children disrupts that expectation. It sends a message to younger artists watching him. Success doesn't mean abandoning family, it means knowing when to slow down and show up. And that's why this moment matters. It's not a PR move, it's not a promotional tactic, it's a personal choice that exposes the human being behind the superstar. It's Chris Brown the father, not Chris Brown the performer. And as this story unfolds, it becomes even more powerful when you realize that while he stepped back from the stage, his music was simultaneously stepping forward into one of the biggest moments of his career. When celebrities cancel tours, the typical reaction from fans is frustration, disappointment, sometimes even outrage. Tickets are expensive, fans plan travel, hotels, outfits, and experiences around these events. So when Chris Brown announced that his January shows were officially canceled, many expected the backlash to be immediate. But instead of anger, the public responded with empathy and, surprisingly, admiration. Social media platforms lit up instantly with supportive messages. On X, formerly Twitter, fans shared their thoughts using phrases like, "This is maturity," "This is growth," and "I respect him more for this." TikTok videos praising his decision quickly gained millions of views. Fan pages on Instagram stitched together compilations of Chris spending time with his kids, captioning them with messages like "Family first always." Even music forums, which are usually divided when it comes to Chris Brown, united around the same sentiment: he made the right choice. The reaction wasn't just emotional, it was cultural. Fans recognized that Chris Brown's decision stood out in an industry where artists often push themselves to extremes, working through exhaustion, skipping family milestones, and sacrificing personal peace for the sake of public demand. Many pointed out how refreshing it was to see a major star choose his children's mental and emotional well-being over the promise of sold-out arenas. What made this support even stronger was the sincerity of his message. He didn't sugarcoat it. He didn't hide behind business language. He didn't release a perfectly polished PR statement that sounded detached and corporate. He spoke simply, directly, and honestly, and that honesty resonated. Fans also highlighted how Chris's decision set an example for other parents, especially fathers who often face societal pressure to prioritize work and financial stability over emotional presence. One viral post read, "You can earn money anytime, but you can't replace childhood memories." Another said, "A man choosing his kids over millions? That's respect right there." While Chris Brown was making one of the most difficult personal decisions of his life behind the scenes, something remarkable was happening on the professional front. Even as he pressed pause on touring, the music refused to pause with him. Streams were rising, engagement was rising, recognition was rising, and his presence, rather than fading, grew even stronger across platforms. This contrast, stepping back while simultaneously rising up, became one of the most fascinating parts of the story. Because for years, Chris Brown has been known as an artist who thrives on movement. He's always been in the studio, always on stage, always releasing new visuals, always collaborating. His work ethic is legendary in the R&B and hip-hop world. Even musicians outside his genre often speak with admiration and sometimes disbelief when discussing how many songs he records in a single week. Yet now, while prioritizing his children, he wasn't promoting non-stop. He wasn't performing night after night. He wasn't trying to force momentum. And still, the momentum came. Part of this resurgence can be traced to the consistency of his craft. Over nearly 2 decades, Chris Brown has built a catalog so extensive, so diverse, and so emotionally layered that it continues to pull in millions of listeners regardless of what he's doing in the present. New fans discover him daily. Older fans revisit past albums. DJs still play his classics in clubs. TikTok trends revive his songs over and over, but this time momentum didn't come from nostalgia. It came from something new, something that reminded both the industry and the fans why Chris Brown is still one of the most respected R&B artists of his generation. This is where it depends. His collaboration with Bryson Tiller changed the tone of the entire conversation. The song quickly became a breakout favorite. It wasn't just praised, it was analyzed, celebrated, and replayed at a rate that showed it hit a nerve. The combination of Chris's signature vocals and Bryson's atmospheric emotional style created a song that felt both modern and timeless. It appealed to long-term fans who grew up with Chris's sound. It appealed to younger listeners who loved the new wave of moody melodic R&B. And it appealed to critics who recognized the artistic growth behind the track. As streams climbed and reaction videos poured in, something became clear. Even while taking a break from the stage, Chris Brown's music was carrying his presence forward. He didn't need to be everywhere. The music was speaking for him. This brought unexpected attention from major outlets that had not highlighted his work in a while. Writers began acknowledging how he continues to influence the evolution of R&B. Producers praised the precision in his vocal layering, and fans pushed the song all the way into mainstream conversations about Song of the Year quality. By the time award season conversations began circulating, Chris Brown was sitting at the center of something he hadn't felt in years. A wave of pure musical recognition, separate from controversy, separate from industry politics, rooted solely in the quality of the art. And as you'll see in the next section, that wave grew bigger, much bigger, leading to 2 of the most meaningful Grammy nominations of his recent career. Grammy nominations carry weight, especially in R&B. The genres of pop and hip-hop may dominate headlines, but R&B is where emotional clarity, technical skill, and vocal mastery are most heavily scrutinized. So when Chris Brown received 2 nominations at the 2026 Grammys, it wasn't just a career achievement, it was a powerful moment of validation. For years, fans and critics alike have debated Chris Brown's relationship with the Recording Academy. Many felt he was often overlooked despite dominating charts, radio, and streaming platforms. Others believed the politics of the industry overshadowed his contributions to modern music. Regardless of the reasons, one thing remained consistent: Chris kept releasing high-quality music, whether he was acknowledged or not. So when It Depends earned nominations for Best R&B Performance and Best R&B Song, the reaction was explosive. The performance category acknowledged his vocal execution, his tone, delivery, control, and expression. The song category acknowledged the writing, the composition, the structure, and the emotional impact of the track. Together, these nominations told a complete story. Not only does Chris Brown still have one of the strongest voices in R&B, but he also remains one of its most influential storytellers. Chris was at home focusing on his children when the announcements went public. Fans joked that family time brought blessings, while others said the nominations were the universe balancing itself out. But beyond the humor and celebration, many understood the deeper meaning. After years of being either undervalued or selectively acknowledged, Chris Brown was finally stepping back into the awards conversation through a song that showcased maturity, vulnerability, and collaboration. Industry insiders said the nominations reflected a shift in tone. Critics began re-evaluating his place in modern R&B, and even publications that typically avoided covering him acknowledged the artistic merit behind the track. This wasn't just another nomination year. This felt like a turning point. A moment where the music, not the noise, took center stage. And what made it even more poetic was how it aligned with the story we've been following up to this point. A man choosing peace at home while receiving recognition from the world outside it. While fans celebrate Chris Brown's decision, the industry continues to honor his artistry. The Grammy nominations for It Depends validate his talent and reaffirm his relevance in modern R&B. But beyond awards, this chapter in his life may shape how he is remembered, not just as a performer, but as a human being capable of making tough, principled decisions. This dual narrative, choosing family over fame while earning accolades, adds a layer of complexity to Chris Brown's legacy. It challenges previous narratives that often focus solely on controversy. Today, he is being recognized not just for musical excellence, but for emotional intelligence and integrity. Looking ahead, the combination of personal choice and professional recognition creates opportunities for Chris to redefine his public image. By prioritizing family, he sets an example for other artists navigating similar pressures. By delivering Grammy-worthy music, he proves that success doesn't require sacrificing what truly matters. This duality may influence how fans, critics, and fellow artists view him for years to come. Chris Brown's story now becomes more than just a headline. It becomes a case study in balancing career and personal life, in earning respect without compromising values, and in achieving growth in both public and private spheres. As fans, observers, and aspiring artists, we can witness an evolution, the superstar who learned to pause, reflect, and act with purpose. And there you have it, Chris Brown, a global superstar, taking a moment to choose what truly matters, while simultaneously proving his music still resonates at the highest level. From canceling his January tour to earning double Grammy nominations, this moment marks a turning point in his career, his life, and his legacy. If you enjoyed this deep dive into Chris Brown's life and career, make sure to like, share, and subscribe to Taspectrum West TV. Don't forget to click the notification bell so you never miss updates on your favorite artists and the latest in celebrity news. Comment below, do you respect Chris Brown more after this decision? And how would you balance career and family if you were in his shoes? Remember, sometimes the most powerful moves are the ones that don't happen on stage, in front of a camera, or in front of the world. Sometimes it's the private, deliberate choices that define greatness.